Good morning and welcome to OLSHF's social media webinar. From the beginnings of social media to our current changing media landscape, how can social media be used to further outreach and fundraising awareness? Doug, Brenda, Nicole, and Caitlin will answer these questions and more. I'm John, the media manager, and I'll chime in with some info on the tech, the how-to, and a little look back at OLSHF's past presence on the internet as we all make sense of today's social media aware lion.
And good morning again. And we appreciate so much you joining us for our weekly webinar series. And this week's topic is the social media aware lion. Okay, so raise your hands out there in webinar land, our audience. Raise your hand if you are a social media expert. I'm not. And I think it's fair that I can say on behalf of the rest of our panelists, none of us pretend to really be an expert on social media. But Nick and Brad and Brenda and Caitlin are going to share some great information and some great tips today on social media. My role, I'm Doug, by the way. I'm the executive director of the Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation. I'm just saying good morning, and we're going to give you a super quick overview of the history of social media in the world. So we'll go to our first slide here and basically just explain that what is social media? You know, it's basically communication. It's sharing information, it's sending information, it's receiving information, and as this slide depicts, it goes way, way back, right? I have to admit, I really kind of enjoy this one because it reminds me of probably me and some of my friends, and it emphasizes the point, if you read the cartoon bubble, that social media can be annoying from time to time also. I mean, don't we all get tired when Ugar keeps on posting so many photos of his mammoth? That does get frustrating. The next slide here is a little bit more recent, and it shows how communication doesn't necessarily have to be in written form either. Different civilizations have used smoke, for example, to communicate, to warn, and to inform others. More recently than the Wild Wild West, you know, the Vatican still uses smoke as their way of announcing the new pope, which is really, really cool. They're actually pretty smart because nobody can comment on their smoke social media, although people can't like it either necessarily. But it's still really cool that the Vatican uses a really old-fashioned traditional means of communicating. Going on to the next slide here, the printing press. Anybody know when the printing press was first developed? Sometime like in the 1450s or so. A German by the name of Johann Gutenberg, while in exile in France, actually created the world's first printing press so that we could share communication in the printed word. And then moving on to our next slide, boy, media really took a leap when radio communications began. I think radio was actually first invented in the late 1890s or so. It was 1920, though, in America when the first radio station went on air. A station in Pittsburgh, I think it was KDKA in 1920. They actually aired intentionally on that day, November 4th, I think it was, 1920, almost 100 years ago. And they aired a debate between, I think it was President Harding and whoever it was that was running against him. I think somebody named Cox was running against him. They did it on that date so that people could hear the debate prior to the election, which took place a couple of days later. That's really interesting. That was when American radio first hit the airwaves. And then anything about social media wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk briefly about television. I think television was actually invented in the late 1800s, early 1900s, but it wasn't until like 1940s when it was actually mass produced, and then the 50s before people actually started having them in their living rooms. The cost of television was a little bit prohibitive for a lot of people, and TV actually received a lot of criticism in the 50s and 60s for reasons like the TV quiz show scandal and the fact that a lot of their content was geared at the upper middle class and not necessarily for the masses. One upside of TV, though, is that apparently political speeches became very, very much shorter because people couldn't handle looking at and listening to politicians for very long. So that was kind of a neat thing. Lastly, our next slide, and this pertains to our webinar today more than anything. Oh, and for those of you that are younger, that is not the world's first cell phone. That is actually Steve Wozniak, who co-founded Apple and helped create and produce the first personal computer. I think that's the Apple I that he is embracing right there. And that really is probably the birth of social media as we know it, giving most homes in America anyway, in developing countries, the opportunity to not only receive media, but to create and send media. I know that social media can be an intimidating concept, but again, it really comes down to its communication. And it's just communicating with somebody that isn't in the same room with us using our computer. So I'm really, really pleased to be able to introduce the first of our panelists today, who you're going to hear, Brenda. And Brenda, you're going to share with us some of the information on one of the most important mediums or most effective mediums in social media, YouTube.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that everybody was able to join us today and that we have the opportunity to talk about some of these avenues of communication and ways that we're using them. I am going to focus on the power of YouTube, and YouTube may be one of the platforms that people are familiar with. It has been around for some time. It was developed in the early 2000s as a video sharing platform, and when it was purchased by Google in 2006, it became kind of part of their suite of offerings that they have, and it is now the world's second most popular website behind Google. The Google search engine is the #1 most popular website, and YouTube is the second most. One of the things that I found very interesting about it is it's a place where individuals, businesses, organizations can put any kind of video production that they're putting together. So it could be short videos, it can be long videos, it can be snippets, it can be interviews, it can be any kind of content that anybody's creating. And they often call the individuals who put together these videos and post them, and they have channels and they have an avenue of sharing their content. They call them content creators. And so in a sense, we are a content creator for any of these social media avenues, but on YouTube, we do have our own channel that we post our productions on. So not only is more than 500 hours of content uploaded every minute, over 1 billion hours of content and videos are watched every single day on YouTube. And one of the ways that people find things on YouTube is using keywords and tags. So when we post a video for our work on here, this is on your screen here, you're going to see this is our channel. And I looked at this as a subscriber viewpoint. So this is what it would look like when you as a general individual go to YouTube and look for Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation or Oregon Lions, excuse me, or Lions Clubs of Oregon. Any of those keywords are going to pull up information about us because we're able to put those kind of tags and those keywords into our video production and into our channel so that any search that is done, we put volunteering, we put service, we put community building, anything that we think that is going to be a keyword that ought to draw up a result from us, vision, hearing, eyeglasses, hearing aids, anything along those lines. We put those onto the video so that people can find our content on YouTube. And so this is an example of what our channel looks like. It has a header on there, and then it's got a video, it's got a home, it's got a list of options. The main thing I want to point out, though, as I've kind of highlighted here, is that subscribe button. So when you go onto YouTube, typically those of you that have a Google account will be logged into that Google account, and when you're doing that, it can identify who you are, or you can sign up individually for a YouTube account. It does not cost anything to anybody who wants to go and view anything. It doesn't cost anything to us to post either, so people are aware of that. This is a free platform for those types of situations. But to subscribe, it gives an opportunity for, if you want to follow, if you want to receive notifications whenever we post a video, you can subscribe to our channel. And that allows us to kind of automate the process of posting this content and you having the opportunity to see this content, these videos, these snippets at your convenience, whenever it is that it works for you. There are a lot of individuals. Oh, well, I should talk about this first. This is a view of some of the videos that are on our channel. So we do have quite a few that talk about the webinars that we've done. We record these webinars. This webinar is being recorded now and will be posted later today or tomorrow so that it's accessible to anybody at any time. We have lots of educational features on here. We talk about our programs. We highlight the different volunteer aspects of what it is that we do in our programs that we work with and schools that we've gone out to. So there's a lot of great content out there already for you to see. And then I just want to point out that Lions Clubs International, I had to unsubscribe so I could let you see the red subscribe button, and I will resubscribe to them because I don't want to miss out on anything that Lions Clubs International is doing. But this was the search for just Lions Clubs in quotes there, and it pulls up a lot of Lions Clubs International productions, as well as a lot of the history and videos that have been posted worldwide about what Lions are doing here and in other countries. So there's a lot of things to watch, a lot of things to learn, and a lot of ways to connect with communities through that video production. And just briefly to talk about why YouTube in particular is, it's a great way to increase awareness of our mission and programs and make our online presence accessible to those communities that already exist. Video is one of the most shared types of content on any type of social media. People really want to, when they're doing things online, they want to share things that are moving. They want to make people laugh. They want to kind of be able to talk about what it is that they're doing in their community and be able to share that with people who may not be in their immediate vicinity. So this is something that they can talk about on, with friends that live in other countries and things that they're doing. But it's a way to do that. And video has such a good presence. It's a good way to build trust with supporters if we can't be face to face with them. And that relationship building relies very much on being able to see who it is that you're working with, volunteering with, who you're supporting. And through videos, we can capture the sentiment and the personality that exists in each of us and us as an organization, and be able to share that and make it available to those supporters and those interested individuals and groups at any time. And then, of course, one of the big things that we think about somewhat on the back end is that video content improves search engine rankings. And that may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but what it means is that when somebody goes in and they do a Google search and it says, I need help with eyeglasses, and they've got their location search on and they know that they're in Oregon, the algorithms that run those search engines are going to come up with us as a solution. So the more we can make our presence known and we can use the keywords that exist in our mission, it's going to make it much easier for Google and any other search engine to find us and help people realize where they can get access to resources, how they can support us, and how they can access things. So speaking of video, I wanted to share a video that we have here for you, talking about kind of the history of not only the foundation online, but just kind of what social media is. So I'm going to move over to that, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
In just over 20 years, the internet has forever changed our lives. From CompuServe to AOL,
you've got mail.
Things sped up and brands flew by. The concept of social media was created in the tech rush of the late 90s. OLSHF joined the internet early a year later in '98. Basic information, yet a solid foundation for what was yet to come. In the early 2000s, expansion of this website, including utilizing photos, early video embeds, and links to valuable resources, things really started picking up. Using the site as a fundraising tool, highlighting our message and dedication to keeping the promise. The early 2000s saw many changes. The underlying code of the internet, the hypertext markup language, was improving, and with it, an early Facebook appears, dedicated to schools, finding classmates, and the concept of a social network. Before anyone knew what a tweet was, Twitter was just another domain for sale, a holding page of dubious early internet shopping. Now an internet juggernaut. From its early inception and dedication to driving shorter attention spans, it became an instant success. By limiting text to tweets, more content could be consumed, and this drove advertising spending to new heights. By the mid-2000s, everyone was wanting to cash in. Another early blue chip was found in YouTube, limiting videos to 10 minutes in keeping with the now flood of content being created daily. YouTube maintains its dominance to this day as a powerhouse in reach and sheer number of hours of media consumed. 23 years since its inception, the data generated is now too compelling to ignore. The user stats on some platforms pushing numbers never seen before. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, now becoming household brands with an increasing walled garden approach to the medium. From humble roots based on the foundation of organic reach, to now advertising and promotional powerhouses, creating new opportunities and reaching intended audiences. Parallel to all of this was the rise of the mobile culture that surrounds us today. From the bulky devices 20 years ago, giving way to the compact, sleek, and speedy mobile computers or smartphones we enjoy today. It's all moved fairly fast. The merging of social media and the mobile culture has again opened new opportunities. We used to sit and browse the internet. Now we just take it with us everywhere, with viewing hours increasing with the change. For nonprofits seeking an audience for fundraising and outreach, the opportunities are there if we work together to strengthen our organic reach. Sharing, liking, cross-posting, other techniques you'll learn today in pushing the various platforms of logarithms to put our important media and content higher in the ranking. Of course, being the video guy, I really agree with this statement. I encourage all of us to take advantage of the tips and techniques shared today in expanding both OLSHF's outreach, but also Lions Clubs throughout the state. Share your club's activities, post upcoming events, create more remote meetings and webinars, offer useful advice, share touching stories. In my opinion, our good work goes unnoticed without us working together to become more effective at communications. The investment in time to create fundraising and awareness outreach, I believe, can improve our standing both on social media, but in our communities. Thank you for watching this short overview with more to come in the future as we open this dialogue to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your webinar today. For OLSHF, I'm John Webb.
I'm Nicole, and I'm going to speak with you about some topics related to Facebook. So I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us this morning. And I've got a few key points that will reiterate what John's great video just shared. So social media is now a crucial component in fundraising. It's crucial for marketing. It's crucial for nonprofits to raise funds. So one of the ways you need to do that is to have your online presence, whether it's your website, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, and also you need to have secure donation links. So that's part of what we'll discuss later with Caitlin and Brad. But the next point is, for Lions, this is a chance to share. This is a chance to brag. This is a chance to talk about what you do, share photos, share videos, be proud of your achievements, get people involved, and build awareness. Especially now with COVID, social distancing, the recent wildfires, and all the ways that we need to connect differently, remotely. There's a pressing need for us to feel connected, involved, and frankly, something that's uplifting, something that we could do something about. More than ever, people are looking for meaningful ways to connect, to learn, to help, to mobilize in their community, and also to donate. So in this segment right here, see the screen there, we are going to talk about Facebook and a few easy tools that are available to you, all free, ways that you can create fundraisers on your own page, on your Lions Club page, for the foundation to help raise funds for us, as well as your Lions Club. So for the first slide, and another thing I will add is you're going to reach more people. So inevitably, friends of friends, sharing just multiplies your reach. So this first slide here shows you, it's the landing page up at the top. That URL takes you to the place where all the fundraisers are created. And there's two ways to do so. We're going to focus on the one on the left, raise money for a nonprofit. So, or your 501c3 club. So the easiest way to do that is you can add a donate button to a post, and that's either your post or an OLSHF post. So I think the next slide, please. Perfect. So you can see there the arrows that show, the gold arrows show where you click. So let's say that's me, Nick Rand. I've shared a post, created my own post, or I've shared one from the foundation. That will show up, that little donate button. And all you simply have to do is click the blue, and that's going to take you to a search bar. And all you need to do is type in Oregon Lions. It won't pick up OLSHF, so you do need to write out Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation in the search bar. Or if you're putting in your club name, if that's a 501c3, you do that. And right after you choose Oregon Lions, it allows you to share, and you click share, and there's a space to leave a comment, such as what I did there below. And then simply watch your gifts add up. And so it's really all about sharing and liking, or the inverse. The other way that you can do a Facebook fundraiser is, that's another example, just so you can see my personal post. I shared an I Promise post. I put a comment on the top under my name, Nick Rand, And then I hyperlink to Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation through that donate button. And you can see there is exactly where a person donates. They click on that little square donate right by the gold arrow, and you can see somebody already has donated. Our good friend Audra from DocuMart has donated. So simple, secure, and safe. So then the next slide, I believe, yes, perfect. Thank you. That shows how you do the search in the search bar. Just in case someone hasn't tried this yet, and I urge you to do so, and you can always call me. We can set up some time to review this together. This is how you find Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation through the search bar. And once you click on that, you're good. And you could see there's a few other, you see Lions, McMinnville has a 501c3, Springfield, then you see some other ones down there. So that gets you to your donate button. So the next step is if you want to set up, thank you. This is if you want to set one up for the foundation, not on your personal page per se, but you can set up a more detailed fundraiser. And this is where you put your monetary goal. You can see that there in the blue under my little profile picture of a young child being screened for amblyopia. So you can set up a goal of any amount. You can set up a time frame. You could set up a personal comment. You share why. Why are you raising funds for eyeglasses, hearing aids, patient care? Explain to your friends and family why. Make it public so it can be shared. And then all of the information will pre-populate. You'll have your donate button. You'll have a share button to the right of my title. You can change the picture above your title. As you learn more, you get sophisticated, or I can help you with all of this. And that's a very, very public, easy, shared way to raise money. So voila, you've created your own fundraiser. Share, invite your friends. Here's another example of adding a donate button. So there's, really two ways. I'll give you the donate button, sort of the easier route, or the other way, which is set up your own fundraiser with the foundation. And still pretty easy, but you can kind of try one or the other to get familiar. So the other thing I wanted to mention about both of these types of fundraisers is there's many, many of you out there that have already done this. So I want to thank staff. I want to thank trustees. I want to thank Lions. I want to thank friends, supporters, non-Lions, doctors. We've had lots of folks set up birthday fundraisers, anniversary fundraisers, just for whatever reason, or they've shared a post and added a donate button. Just like that in 30 seconds. And that provides a lot of contributions and very easy support, and also gets us to new donors and gets us to new people who are aware now of what the foundation does. So I'm going to leave you with 3 takeaways, 3 points. Like our posts, share our posts, and add a donate button whenever you can. Maybe not go every post, but try once a week, or just try once. And then share that and see how you do. You'll probably get some donations. And also doing this, you can share our stories. You can help urge people to donate at any amount. And you're also letting people know what our mission is of the foundation and of the Lions of Oregon. So those are my 3 takeaways. And now I'm happy to share the stage with my colleague and good friend. Oh yes, there's my information if you want help. I'm happy to walk you through. Call me or email me. And now back to Caitlin and I, my friend and colleague. We're going to discuss a younger millennial perspective. So welcome, Caitlin.
Hello, thank you. My name is Caitlin, and I work with the foundation, and I have for the past 7 years. I am the administrator for a lot of programs at the foundation. I have many irons in the fires, as I'll say. So what questions do you have for me, Nicole?
So I have 2 main questions, and keeping an eye on the time. I want Caitlin to talk a little bit about the impact of her club. She's the president of the Portland Legacy Lions Club. And I want her to talk a little bit about our online presence and how we use social media. So I think we'll start with that. It's more like a statement than a question.
That's not a question.
Share with us the impact.
Sure. So just recently, we had a pet photo contest, and it was something that we were cooking up before COVID hit. So we were thinking about it and just we were going to do a whole bunch of flyering in person, and we were going to share with a whole bunch of people. But then COVID happened and we weren't allowed to go outside. And a lot of places were closed, so we couldn't expand on that. So instead of just going, well, guess that's that, shoot, we gotta wait until next year to do this, or whenever we're allowed to again, we were like, well, this is just going to be strictly online then. So we shared it on our website, on Facebook, on Instagram, through other social media needs, like even through like email, or just at the hospital where where our office is located, we handed some off to some staff people there as well, just on like a little piece of paper, the flyer, and just handed it off to them, and then they would share it with their friends. It was a really great hit. We raised over $700. Definitely more than what we had originally thought that we were going to get. And it was great because it was it was so simple to set up, because all we said were like, hey, we want photos of your pets. We just want to see how cute your furry or scaly animals are. And it was a really great success. And if it wasn't for social media, it wouldn't have been as successful, because without our presence that was already there, and we've even built up more of a presence now as well. So it was, I don't know, it was wonderful. It was really nice.
How many people, Caitlin, do you think submitted photos, and how many, let's put it this way, how did we engage on Facebook? Did we get more likes? Did we get more views because we had photos? We simply uploaded those photos to Facebook and also included them on Instagram. How did we get some traction there?
So as we were continuing on, we every now and then we would post a photo or two of the participants, just to show, hey, look at all these cuties that we've gotten so far. Don't you want to include yours and win one of our prizes? So I'm sorry, repeat the question.
So I guess maybe I'll jump in too, because Caitlin and I worked on this together, and one of the ways that we thought would be really creative was to involve our beneficiaries. So you can probably see there, maybe in the right corner there, lower right corner, the green P. So that's for Pixie Project, one of our beneficiaries. So by linking with them, with their Facebook, with their Instagram, I think we got some more likes and donors, frankly. I mean, maybe you could speak more to that impact a little bit.
Sorry, thank you. So yeah, definitely, for sure. We had many people from Pixie Project submit their photos of their pets, because Pixie Project, what was nice linking up with them for this contest was Pixie Project is a pet place. They do like adoptions, and they give people who are of low income food for their pets, or services like neutering or whatnot. So they are so having that connection with them, saying, hey, if we make this flyer, would you be able to share it as well, because we are trying to raise this money for you? It was very handy, because then we were able to get fresh eyes looked at us. And that's really the key thing with social media, is you want to get as many new eyes on you as possible. So if you do work with a partner that does also social media, you want to be able to tell them, hey, here's this thing. It has our name on it. It'll have your name on it and your logo. We want to share this together so that you can get new eyes on you, so that people can be like, oh, Pixie Project, what's that? And then people on your side will say, Portland Legacy Lions, what's that? And then they'll go, oh, Lions Club International, what's that? And then it's a nice continuous circle of, hey, what's that? And just clicking on what it is that we are partnered with.
So essentially, it's the ease. It's the ease of how people can connect with us, get information, share information, and then donate. You know, we have very clear ways for them to donate. Contest entry was very modest. So kind of putting that all on social media, and then getting lots of people, staff members, friends of staff members, to share is really, I would say, the key of what social media did for our club. And of course, this extends out to all our Facebook for the foundation. So that's a good example. I know we kind of have to put it all succinctly here. We can't walk you through every step, but what Caitlin and I are trying to express to you is that these are tools. These are free tools. This is a tool to like amplify who you are, what you do, and how easy it is to get involved. Send a picture. This is all safe. We're not, we're being careful with COVID. So these are ways to get involved and feel good and feel part of a community. So along that line, I would ask Caitlin, I think we have time for one more question, about one or two more. Since you're in the millennial group, give us a little bit of perspective on what motivates millennials, what motivates yourself to be on social media, and why would that be important for a Lions Club or the foundation to be tapped into that feeling?
So what really motivates me, and this can go for any age group really, but you need to be passionate about what you're doing. And if your passion can be seen or heard through what you are posting on your social medias, that is going to inspire especially younger people to be like, okay, they can walk, they speak the speak, but can they walk the walk? I don't know how that phrase goes. But you need to have that gung-ho to go say, hey, this is what we believe in, and here's our backing on that. This is how we're going to move forward to complete our mission. So as long as you can show that you are passionate about what you're doing, you will have a following. You do need to have like probably some tags in there to get those new eyes on you, so that these new eyes or new people can see what you're trying to say. But as soon as you have that that right niche, and I'm happy to help with that as well. If anyone has any questions. But as soon as you get that, it really needs to be the passion. You can't be afraid to say that you're proud of what you're doing, because I don't know what it is about Lions, but they're very humble people. You need to not be so humble. You need to toot your own horn. If you don't toot your horn, we don't know what you're doing. And there's so many people out there who say to me, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm a lion." But isn't that, for old people? I'm like, no, it's not just for old people. It's Lions is a community thing, and you have to not be so quiet about it, because so many people don't know what we're doing or what you're doing, and that's just not acceptable anymore. You cannot be quiet. You need to be loud and be proud.
Perfect. I think we'll move on to our next panelist and have Caitlin available in a little bit for more questions and answers. I would like to have Brad as our additional special guest. Speaking of being loud and proud, Brad King, Tualatin Lion, school vision screener and foundation employee and good friend of mine, will give you another example of the success of social media, fundraising, and Lionism. So take it away, Brad.
Thanks, Nicole. Good job, Caitlin. Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to be wearing my Tualatin Lion hat today. Like Caitlin said, many irons in the fire. I wear many hats. Today it's the Tualatin Lion hat. My club works down in the Southwest metro area. We've got our footprint in the Tualatin Sherwood area, and we help people with glasses and hearing aids and screening kids, and the food pantry and the clothes closet for the school kids, and all kinds of stuff. And our big fundraiser for the last several years has been our Oktoberfest celebration, Tualatin Lions Oktoberfest. Well, like Caitlin said about their project, the pandemic came along and kicked us to the curb. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So we got heads together and said, hey, we can still have Oktoberfest. Since we do it at the Elks Lodge, we can cook in their kitchen and then use their driveway as a drive-through Oktoberfest. So that idea was born last spring, and we got on our horse and started working. And we understand, I'm not saying we're special, we just understand that communication is so important to the success of your fundraiser or whatever service project you're doing. And so we started off, developed a flyer, developed a press release, sent that flyer out on Facebook, sent it out on Instagram. I'm the second oldest guy in our club, so we're a little different. We have young families, and they're pretty well aware of what they can do on the web, communication-wise. And we got some good feedback. I used the MD36 press release guide and formulated a press release. Got that to Nicole, and it was sent out on flashalert.net 2 weeks before our event. And it was picked up by our local every 6 weeks newspaper in Tualatin. And they print virtually everything we send them. But then a couple of weeks before the event, shortly after the news release went out, I got contacted by the Tigard Tualatin Times, a Pamplin publication. One of their reporters got a hold of me. And I guess the pandemic has squeezed a lot of news out of the paper, and they needed something. So we got about 2/3 of a page with lots of photographs a couple of weeks before our event, and that generated a ton of interest. We, again, look towards communication. We got a Google phone number, put it on my phone, and we got our our email address and put that out there in all of our press releases and all of our social media posts. And in the week before our Oktoberfest, which was held last weekend, our email blew up, my phone blew up, texts, phone calls. I want to order 2 meals. I want to order 3 meals and a raffle ticket, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And by the time Friday came around, we were cautiously optimistic. We filled the refrigerator, we got to work, we made dinners, and son of a gun if we didn't sell 80 dinners the first night. Our Oktoberfest in the past has been a one-night event, a big party in the dining room of the Tualatin Elks Lodge, and we get 100 people. We sold 80 dinners the first night. The second night, we sold 81 dinners. And at 6 o'clock that evening, a reporter from Fox 12, KPTV, showed up with her camera, and we were on the 10 o'clock news on Saturday night on Fox 12. And apparently it was a slow news weekend because they played us again on Good Day Oregon on Sunday. Holy smokes, we got out there. We got a lot going on. We were on Facebook, we were on Instagram, we were in 2 newspapers, we were on Nextdoor, we were on Tualatin Now, that's a little local social media thing. Sherwood Reports, a little local social media thing. You got to look out and find those things and communicate, and maybe you'll end up on KPTV 12 and crush your fundraising goal like we did. I'll be happy to take any questions. We didn't invent any of this stuff. We just learned how to use it and got a little bit creative because we had to. We can help more people now. Our usual Oktoberfest earns us a little shy of $1,400. We're upwards of $1,800 on this one, and that's just going to allow us to get more people glasses, more people hearing aids, just do more for people in our community that are in need. And I'll be happy to take any questions at any point in time. I'm going to send it to, I'm not even sure who comes next. Is it Doug? Are you next? No?
I don't think so, but I'm going to ask you a question, Brad.
Sure, Doug, go for it.
I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to ask Caitlin a question. And then, of course, our audience, we invite you to use the chat box to type your questions in there, and we'll do our best to get to all of them. So, Brad, great job. The mighty Tualatin Lions had a fantastic event. Very, very impressive. You mentioned the other day that, well, you just mentioned now the amount that you raised, but you also mentioned the other day that there were some other positive results from the awareness that you raised, not just monetary, but interest in your club also. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, some of the people that drove through had interest in joining our club, which is great because the more Lions we have, the more people we can have. And guess what happened Sunday morning? I'm out working in my yard and my neighbors came by and said, "Hey, Brad, we saw you on the news this morning. That was great. Tell us about the Lions Club. We'd like to join." So hopefully we're going to increase the size of our club, which increases the size of the service we do in our community out of this event.
Awesome, thanks. And then, hey, Brenda, can you bring up the pet photo contest flyer for a moment. I've got a comment and a question for Caitlin. I hope that's okay, Caitlin. You know, Caitlin, I appreciate you mentioning that Lions don't always toot our own horn as much as we should. And the reality is Caitlin's a little bit modest also, because Caitlin designed this flyer, and man, it's fantastic. And even though, you know, we can sit here and say, oh, it's so easy to do social media and this and that, I mean, I'll admit that this flyer is not easy. I mean, not everybody can produce these beautiful flyers. So great job, Caitlin. But the quick comment, what is easy is that unlike a radio ad, which airs and then goes away, or a television, I'll even say a newspaper article or an ad, which is great, but then it goes away. This doesn't go away on social media. If you post this on Facebook or Snapchat or another medium, and Nicole, you did a good job talking about it. When somebody likes it or shares it, exponentially more and more people see it. And even though Caitlin might post this on a Tuesday, people are going to see it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, virtually for weeks and weeks. So it doesn't go away. So that's beautiful. But Caitlin, I really appreciate you mentioning the $700 or so that this raised. How did that benefit those in need, just out of curiosity?
Oh, of course. So we gave around $400 of that to Pixie Project itself. There's a picture on our Facebook that shows me giving the check to Jessica. That's her name. Okay. That was really nice to we were 6 feet apart. Don't worry. And that was really good feeling. We also donated $100 to the Guide Dogs for the Blind. And then the rest of the money is being spent towards, I believe we're still trying to spend it all, is being spent towards hearing aid applicants and to the eyeglasses as well. So it's still there being used right now.
Awesome, awesome. Sometimes, you know, it's just important to emphasize why we're doing this. It's all to help others in need. So thanks for answering that.
Of course.
And also quickly, for those in the audience, if you're a Lions Club member or if you're just a volunteer with any kind of a group, you know, figuratively raise your hand if your club fits into that 80-20 rule, where about 20% of the people do 80% of the work. The beauty of social media is that, again, if Caitlin posts something and I share it, then I don't have to do any more work. Other people are seeing it, and it is relatively easy because the internet is doing all the work there. So awesome. Hey, Brad, Melissa from the North Clackamas School District, school nurse there, says hello.
Hi, Melissa.
Thanks for sitting in and participating. I just wanted to share that with you. Brenda, do we have any other questions out there?
We don't. I've shared the comments, lots of compliments for the production and for seeing everybody. John was teasing Brad and saying that he was very still, wondering if he was awake. So what was on there? I said I was going to tease him. He makes a good statue.
Brad looked wide awake to me the whole time. I don't know what John's talking about. That's John Taylor, by the way. Brad, if you want to get back at him. Hey, Brenda, okay. Brenda, do us a favor, and because you mentioned earlier how important it is to us at the Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation, I think you'd like to have our own URL for YouTube. So can you just, so that I can understand it, just kind of describe how somebody could subscribe to YouTube again, and also maybe mention how much we appreciate if people would share our posts on Facebook?
Absolutely. So as many of you will see on the screen now, down by the YouTube symbol, which is that red play button is almost what it looks like. It says subscribe now, and you'll notice that it's got a website URL that says YouTube/channel/ a whole bunch of letters. And it doesn't have anything specifically identifying it as a foundation based channel. So YouTube limits channels, and personalizing those channels or branding them, if you're doing that from an organizational standpoint, it limits that to people who, or to organizations and channels that have 100 subscribers. So if we are looking at having that on a personalized basis, what we want you to do is to find us on YouTube. And we do have the link. It's available through our Facebook. We'll send it out to the participants today. And on our follow-up information, we'll have a link directly to that channel. But then if you subscribe, And as soon as we get up to 100 subscribers, which I think we're about halfway there, I think we have close to 50 subscribers, we'll be able to personalize that URL and it'll identify it as an Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation channel. And we really look forward to doing that, and we need your help to do so. So if you do navigate to YouTube, use one of our links again, or go to YouTube and just search for Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation. Our videos will pop up. You will find our channel, and there'll be a big red subscribe button, and you can click on that. It is no cost to anybody. Again, just to emphasize, like when you subscribe to something, it's not that it's going to send out emails to you on a more regular basis. It's just an automatic notification that says that we've posted new content. You might want to check it out. It's not coming from us at the foundation. We are not going to be sending you a bunch of emails promoting everything that we're doing. This is just through the YouTube platform. So just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Great.
Thank you, Doug.
For our attendees out there, do me a favor and take a second or two in the chat box. Let us know if you've seen our videos before on Facebook, that we put on our YouTube channel, because it'd be nice to know whether or not you're even seeing those videos. And since I mentioned that really quickly, Lions clubs that are still meeting virtually through Zoom meetings, I know it can be hard to have a guest speaker. Why not use one of our videos as part of your program for a Lions Club meeting? Zoom makes it really easy to share a screen and to share content like that. If you would like any help with that, let us know, and we would be happy to either suggest a video pertaining to the ROAR Hearing Assistance Program or the LEAP program or school vision screening or even patient care, really any of our programs, and we'll help you find that link and show you, if you need, how to show that at your own Lions Club meeting. Nicole, I'm going to bounce it back to you so that perhaps you can help us understand a little bit better about that flash alert and how that can work.
Perfect. Thanks, Doug. So as Brad mentioned, and on Caitlin too, we had a flash alert for our pet photo contest. But any information you have, the who, what, where, why, when, press release, send to me. We have a relatively very modest fee-based news distribution system that we have access to. It's super convenient, easy. All I need from you, free, I need information. I need fresh stories. I need your activities, anything you're doing. Give me the basics, give me the facts. Brad is amazing at writing press releases. I look to him to help, but basically tell me about an event that you're going to have, a virtual event, anything you're going to post on social media, or anything that you're going to do, the drive-through fundraiser, a spaghetti feed, whatever it is, pancakes. Tell us about a story in your community. Tell me how you've helped someone. Give me the facts. I will put together a one-page release. Give me a contact person, and then I will get it out to the media outlets, which would be radio, TV, as Brad said. You get all kinds of surprises. Print, online, we get a lot of online hits. We do a lot of community online posts. Get that information to me. I'll distribute it to the region that's appropriate. We do a lot of statewide. We do a lot of regional, and I can get all that out very easily through email. Do follow up, and hopefully you'll get some press and news time as TV time, excuse me, as Brad did. So I urge you all to send me information. For example, Mary Lee Turner and I spoke yesterday, and I had received from Melinda Rhodes at the foundation all the information about White Cane Day, which is today, Awareness Day, and there's all kinds of activities going on in Portland and beyond. And so Mary Lee had pulled that together with a press release with a colleague, and I was able to get that out yesterday morning, and hopefully they had some coverage, to get some online coverage yesterday and today and the weekend. So that's an example of how easy it is. Send it to me, I'll take care of the rest. It's a great way to make an impact, and it's a great way to learn who is a media contact in your region. Now Brad has a bunch of new media contacts in his area, and so please, I urge you, call me, write me. We can get your information out there, and include links, include your Facebook page, include your website or phone number, email, anything, and I'll get that out. So I also just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone, my co-panelists, John Webb, Brenda, tech support, everyone that's made this happen today, and the team effort is just wonderful. So just a thank you from me to everybody for participating.
Thanks, Nick. And thanks, Brad. Thanks, Caitlin. As we've mentioned a couple of times, social media is a fantastic way to share information, but it's also an amazingly effective way of receiving information. And with that in mind, we are asking you to give us your feedback on a couple of things. One, our webinar topics. Are these topics that you find interesting and helpful? We'll probably do another social media webinar in the future, and it'd be helpful to know what it is that you want help with or what you're interested in. So you can send us an email, you can give us a phone call, you can email us, you can use social media and post it on our Facebook page if you'd like to. Other feedback that we appreciate from you, in addition to what our webinar topic should be, is just our Facebook posts. What do you like to see? Success stories, information on upcoming events, programs, what Brad shot on the golf course last week. You know, just let us know what you want to see, and we'll be happy to post that. So that being said, obviously, thank you for joining us. Our next webinar is 2 weeks from today, Thursday, October 29th, and we'll be taking a look behind the scenes at our Lions Eyeglass Recycling Center, or our LERC, where you'll get a great idea of what happens to used eyeglasses when they're donated here in Oregon and how they help people in developing countries, and sometimes they even help Oregonians as well. Caitlin, Brad, Nick, anything you'd like to add before we say goodbye?
I'm an old guy. Don't be afraid of the internet. Don't be afraid of social media. Hack your way through it. It took me a little while to figure out, and it's easy. Just use it, communicate, tell the story. Like Caitlin said, brag. You've earned that right.
Cool. Caitlin, Nick, anything else?
If there's any Lions out there who need help, you're more than welcome to, as Nicole has said before, you can contact her, you can contact me. I'm still not very good at social media. It's a continuous learning process. Believe me, you're always learning new things. No one's, like Doug had said before, no one's a pro. No one knows exactly what they're doing. We're all fumbling in the dark here. But I'm happy to give my assistance in any way I can.
See what I mean by her being so modest? Nick, you got the last word.
Whoa. I want to echo, I'm here to help. Again, please send me information. I want to tell you that Flash Alert is just quite a useful tool. We need to use it more to promote the good work of Lions around the state. And I'll just say, just remember those 3 things: like, share, and add a donate button. Every dollar matters. Every dollar matters. Every success story grabs someone's attention. Every success story, we've got some great stories. I don't want to give too much away, but we have some wonderful patient care stories that we're working on. And every story, I think, can connect with a new donor or can make someone feel good and understand what our programs are all about for sight and hearing. So you helping us with the donate button for a moment of your time can bring in valuable contributions. So that's what we're doing it for, as Doug said. It's to help our community members that need us. So thank you.
Thank you, Nick, and Brad, and Caitlin, and Brenda. Thank you all for making this a lot of fun. We hope that you, our audience, enjoyed it. We hope to see you again in 2 weeks for our LERC webinar, and we hope everybody has a great day. And we see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.